Bitcoin appears to be dying right now. I was checking the price of Bitcoin. I talked to you guys about it last night, and it had already started to drop. Well, guess what? It dropped even more last night. We talked about it a little bit before, but I think we should dig into Bitcoin again. And in fact, Coinbase is actually crashing. The Coinbase app can't even handle all the Bitcoin traffic, and I'm going to talk to you guys about that more on the Black Financial Channel. So get comfortable, buckle up your seatbelt. We got a special session here on the Black Financial Channel. We'll get started right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I am your friendly neighborhood finance professor. And today I want to talk about Bitcoin and what's going on with Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been crashing and burning. It's been pretty ugly. And even on the Coinbase app, I tried to go in and buy some more Bitcoin. And man, it couldn't even take my order. So this is an interesting day. But before I begin, I always have to say hi to you guys. And hello to El Haj and Marcus and Teach to Reach and Samuel Miller and Jimmy James Draper and Debt Free Dad and Solar Mike and Raphael and Trent Watkins. Okay, Watkins, maybe we're related. Let's just pretend let's just be play cousins, Trent. We cousins now, so we are related. And also don't forget that the Black Financial Channel, even though we talk about wealth from all perspectives, everybody's welcome here. We are here for one sole purpose, and that is to build the Black community. We put our community first. We believe we can solve our own problems. We want to build wealth for our children. So if you agree that Black people come first, if you're okay with that, even if you're white, if you agree that our community can come first on this platform, put a hashtag B and the number one in the chat, hashtag B and the number one. So here's the deal. All right, so right now you've got a crazy situation with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just acting a damn fool right now, and this is some serious stuff. And Chris, I see you're asking me about Doge. I'm gonna talk about Doge in a minute, but y'all know about my ADHD. I'll easily get taken into a whole different direction. So I want to stay focused here because right now Bitcoin is kind of the talk of the town, and I'm going to tell you guys what's going on. Here's the thing, right? Right now there's a trend online. I went on Twitter and I saw that there was a trend that said something like "buy the dip." That was the hashtag "buy the dip." Well, let me just tell y'all, like buying the dip ain't always the right move in every situation. I know buy the dip is something that seems like a good philosophy, but probably shouldn't be a one size fits all. It probably shouldn't be a one size fits all. It's like those people. You ever meet those people that just want to get married? Like I'm getting married this week, right? And I told Alicia, I said, "Look, baby, I don't want to marry you just because I want to get married. I want to marry you because you're you. If I wasn't marrying you, I wouldn't be marrying anybody. I think because I'm not interested in marriage. I'm interested in marrying you. Well, the same thing is true with buying the dip. There are some people who want to buy the dip no matter what. They'll buy the dip on any asset. And some assets you can buy the dip on. Some assets you need to just check the dip and make sure that the dip is nothing serious because your stock may not just be temporarily sick. There's a difference between catching a cold and having HIV. Okay, so some of your assets can become so toxic and so sick that you may think, oh, I'm gonna buy the dip, I'm gonna buy the dip, I'm gonna buy the dip, and guess what? You'll be the last sucker holding buying into something that is going to crash and die. So I'm going to give you an assessment of Bitcoin in terms of what I'm seeing and why whether or not buying the dip is the move I want to make on this asset. So hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up, share, subscribe button. Take 1 second right now. We are trying to build Black media. We really need your help. Without your support, we cannot do this. So please hit the thumbs up, share, and subscribe button. That's very, very important. So with that said, here we go. All right. So with Bitcoin, here's what's causing the decline in the price of Bitcoin and why Coinbase can't even handle all the traffic. Basically, you owe this to China. China is just they recently their institutional or their regulatory authorities just made a warning to their big banks, and China has some major banks. They're bigger than the United States U.S. banks because the Chinese corporations are different from the U.S. corporations, where they're more deeply wired into the government. It's not like the U.S. where they can give the government the middle finger. No, if you're a corporation, you give the Chinese government the middle finger, they'll come kidnap your butt in the middle of the night and have you away from your family for 6 weeks, and nobody will know where the CEO is. Like that's how gangster they are. You don't play with China. They are some governmental thugs in some ways. And so the thing about China is that when the regulators speak, people listen. Elon Musk, for example, who's been heavy in the Bitcoin conversation, is a guy who has openly and publicly criticized U.S. regulatory authorities for what they're doing and all this other stuff. He ain't doing that in China. Just keep it one. Let's keep it clear. Tesla is all up in China, making all kinds of money in China, but he's not flipping off the Chinese authorities the way he's doing in the United States. Because if he did that in China, Elon Musk might disappear. I kid you not. Like they will literally. They've done this to the biggest Hollywood stars. They've done this to major CEOs. Jack Ma, the richest man in all of China, disappeared. Like because the Chinese government sat him down and they pistol whipped him a little bit, so to speak, figuratively speaking. And next thing you know, Jack Ma came out with a whole different disposition. They don't play in China. Why do I bring that up? And why do I bring up Musk? And what is the connection here? Well, the Chinese regulatory authorities warned the banks not to get involved with crypto. They basically told them, do not, get in there and start doing crypto transactions because it's going to be bad for your business. We don't like it. We frown upon it. And when they frown upon it, that's their polite way of saying, if you do this, we're gonna get in that ass. Like if you do this, we're going to really have a problem with you. If you do this, you might be having to deal with some serious charges from the Chinese government. And so what happens is that in my view, they've made Bitcoin very toxic in China, and that's a big deal because the Asian markets are massive. Asians love to invest, and just as a culture, culturally speaking, this is research I picked up on when I was doing my PhD, is that in China, in the Asian countries, they tend to speculate heavily on assets. They tend to see the stock markets as a real casino. So basically, in Asian markets, you'll see a lot of price volatility on various assets, largely due to a cultural norm within many Asian countries. Not to overly stereotype, but it's true. Where investing is just like rolling the dice. They'll shake the bones. They'll overprice an asset because the speculation will get so high. Well, what happens is that you create these what are called asset bubbles. Asset bubbles are basically what they sound like. It's when the price is bubbled up to a point where it shouldn't be. So a lot of the price of Bitcoin, give me a yes or no if you follow what I'm saying. Give me a yes in the chat to let me know I'm not talking over anybody's heads. This is a platform for intelligent Black people. Either you have to be intelligent or you want to be more intelligent. And I'm not going to talk to you ignorant. I'm not going to talk to you about simple stuff and repeat simple things. I'm going to talk to you about the complex things so you can understand what's going on. So basically, when you get these bubbles, bubbles pop. And when the Asian market disappears, when Asians start walking away from, or Chinese in particular, walk away from Bitcoin, the price is going to plummet because a big chunk of your price valuation is held up by the fact that you've got somebody in China willing to buy your allegedly overpriced asset. Nobody knows what the fundamental value of Bitcoin is. Nobody knows what the fundamental value of Doge is. Oh my God, Doge is even worse, right? We're not going to talk about Doge too much today because we're focused on Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is the gateway drug for crypto. Get Bitcoin is the primary gateway. So when the gateway goes down, then a lot of other assets will burn down because Bitcoin is burning down, right? The overall appetite for crypto might be affected because of what's happening with Bitcoin. So that's what you're kind of seeing. You're seeing this really interesting thing, and I'm gonna tell you what's fascinating to me is a lot of this before this incident took place yesterday. I was talking a lot about Elon Musk and his impact on the price of Bitcoin and his value, his impact on the price of just crypto in general. And I had a real issue with Elon Musk. I felt like Elon Musk was acting a little bit Donald Trumpish. He was being a little bit Donald Trumpish. Now, why would I say that Elon Musk was being a little Donald Trumpish? Well, because I felt like he was kind of having a little bit of a God complex. I'm a big fan of Elon Musk, and I love the guy. I really do. I think it's cool that we have this billionaire that wants to go to Mars, but his tweets can move the prices of assets tremendously, especially crypto, because nobody knows what the real value of crypto is. The value of crypto is what people perceive it to be. The beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And so when Elon Musk keeps telling you that oh no, that's an ugly girl or nobody would want to date that girl, then suddenly you behold Bitcoin in a different way than you would have otherwise. So Elon Musk propped up the prices of Dogecoin and Bitcoin by giving them tremendous votes of confidence a few weeks ago. If you recall that, give me a yes or no if you recall. when Elon Musk spoke heavily about Bitcoin and said, At Tesla, we're going to take Bitcoin for transactions." And also, he announced that they made a $1.5 billion investment in Bitcoin. Do you remember that? Give me a yes or no if you remember that. Also, give me a yes or no if you remember when Elon Musk expressed extreme support for Dogecoin. Remember that? He's like, "I'm the Doge father," and all this other stuff, right? Smoking weed with Joe Rogan and all that, and everybody thinks it's cool. Well, if you remember that, he did that, right? Well, then a few weeks later, he completely crashes the price of both of those assets. He crashed Doge on SNL. I told you guys a week before SNL, I said the price of Doge should go up because they're going to be talking about Musk, and Musk is associated with Doge. So the price of Doge will go up this week. I think it will. I really believe it will. You're never 100% right. Sometimes you take a good shot in basketball. Sometimes the shot don't go in. But I said, this is a pretty good shot. I think Doge is going to pop up. And Doge was popping. Everything was going according to plan. Everything was going exactly like you thought it would. And then Musk just kills the price, and the price started dipping actually right before the SNL thing. But I think maybe it could have been because maybe the script got released or something. I just feel like it was all connected, right? So my point is to say that, Musk killed the price of Doge. Doge ain't been right since. Doge has been dead in the water since that time. And then with Bitcoin, he reverses his decision to take Bitcoin for transactions, right? So just a few weeks ago, you're giving this massive vote of confidence for Bitcoin, saying, "Oh yeah, we love Bitcoin. We want Bitcoin." Then you're saying, "No, we don't really want it. We don't like it. It's not environmentally friendly." That's what it is. Shut up, dude. You knew how Bitcoin was mined before you made that decision a month and a half ago. What kind of bipolar behavior are you engaged in? And this is also a reason why, and I'm going to keep talking about Elon Musk because it goes back to China. We're going to circle back to China. Y'all know me. I don't talk to you like you're stupid. I'm going to give you the whole picture. Some people can't take it. Some people are like, "Oh, you're short attention span." Like, "Oh, well, get to the point, get to the point." Well, if you're like that, then you probably need to go, because I'm gonna give you the whole story. I'm not gonna give you the sound bites. I'm gonna give you the breakdown in terms of what I'm seeing in my weird little brain. But basically, here's the reason. Another reason why a lot of people are starting to become a little bit bearish on Tesla stock. Why people are starting to short Tesla stock? Tesla stock, it has a huge risk that is related to Elon Musk. It is called key man risk. Key man risk means that you don't know what the hell this man's going to do. You don't know what he's going to decide to say. You don't know if he's going to drop dead in the shower tomorrow. And all these things, all these changes, in information in the economic environment can cause major disruptions in markets. They can cause billions of dollars in value to disappear like that. $300 billion in value disappeared on Bitcoin the day Elon Musk decided he didn't like it no more. Like, people lost money. Like, people, there's some guy out there that was gonna like buy a house with the money he made from Bitcoin. Now he can't buy that house no more. Or there's somebody out there who said, "I'm gonna get me a new car because my Doge has been doing so well." Well, now they got to go from a Escalade to a Taurus, right? So Elon Musk is erasing value with his actions and his behavior, and there's no telling what he's gonna tweet next. Also, there's no telling what the regulators are gonna do to him. They may come after him with some charges or something. Because right now, for example, with Donald Trump, they're going after him with criminal charges or whatever, and you never know when they're going to have an equally vicious vendetta against Elon Musk. And here's the other piece. We're circling back to China. I told y'all we always bring it back home. I'm circling back around to China and Musk, and why I'm talking about China and Musk in the same conversation as we discussed Bitcoin. Elon Musk has a very cozy relationship with China. Very cozy relationship. You cannot go over to China. I taught finance in China. I taught students in China. Best students I ever had. So respectful. They value education. I love that. I wish black kids would kind of learn. I wish all American kids in general would learn this. Because I went back to teach at Syracuse University. You got to damn near slap the kids and get them to respect you. In China, it wasn't like that. We focused on learning. They were the best students I ever had. But here's the thing about China. You cannot take your little white butt Elon Musk over to China and do business in China and sell millions of cars in China without being real cool with China and the Chinese government. The relationship between the United States and China is deteriorating very quickly. Just recently, Nancy Pelosi announced that she wanted to boycott. I don't know if it's the 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing or whatever. I can't remember what it was. Joe Biden has a contentious relationship with China. Trump had a horrible relationship with China. Elon Musk is cozy with China. China has just killed the price of Bitcoin. Elon Musk is also killing the price of Bitcoin. And I cannot help but wonder if any of this is connected. I'm not saying that it is. I'm just saying it's awfully strange that all this is falling in the China bucket. Right, all of this is falling in the China bucket, and so I don't know what the hell's going on exactly with that part. That's political. I know it's kind of crazy. I'm just literally that's what I do. Sometimes I just kind of think out loud and I share my ideas with you guys, and maybe you guys can process it because some of y'all are very smart people, and I don't assume I'm smarter than the 20,000 people that are going to watch this video. But I will say to you that at the end of the day, this is very interesting dynamic. Now, to get to the more important question, let's go to the next important question. Buy, hold, or sell. Let's break that down now. Before we do that, do me a favor. Please hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Please do that right now. We're building Black-owned financial media. I need you guys' help. I really need you to help in some way. Please hit the thumbs up button. Please right now hit the share button. Please, please, please subscribe to this channel because we need your backup. Also, I'm getting married on Friday. You guys know I've talked about marriage and love as one of the most critical, most fundamental elements of Black economic power. The way they destroyed you was they destroyed your families. So I'm very, very big on family. I'm very, very big on loving Black women and Black women loving and respecting Black men. And so the Friday, I will probably find a way to live stream the wedding. If you want to check it out, if you want to just hang out and be a part of that, feel free to go to. We have a whole channel devoted to relationships where we talk about relationship stuff because I'm marrying a relationship therapist and I want to honor what she does. And so if you want to follow any of that, just go to theBlackLoveChannel.com. It's going to be on Friday at 3 o'clock. That's when we're going to tie the knot. All right. So here's the deal with Bitcoin. Do I believe in buying, holding, or selling? I am going to buy. I'm going to buy. I bought a chunk of Bitcoin last night. I'm about red finna, as we used to say down the south. I'm about red finna. I'm about red finna buy even more Bitcoin today. Why am I gonna buy more Bitcoin? Well, here's the deal. Um, what I'm gonna do is actually, first of all, if you do anything because you hear me say that I'm doing the same thing, I want to warn you that this is a burning building that I'm running into, and you may not want to follow suit if you're not about that life. Seriously, I want to warn you. I'm warning you that if you do anything similar to what I'm doing, make sure you understand the risk that your money can disappear very quickly. So do not do this if you using the rent money to make this move. Buying the dip, I know everybody thinks this is popular, but buying the dip right now is extremely risky because there are significant fundamental factors that are making Bitcoin and crypto in general, all crypto, not just Bitcoin, all crypto, because remember, Bitcoin's highly contagious. The environment right now is getting a little bit crazy. It's getting a little bit gangster up in here, and this is an example of what my dissertation chair. His name is Andrew Caroli. He's the chair of the economics department, I believe, at Cornell University now. Professor Caroli used to be an expert on something called financial contagion, and basically it's almost like a financial version of coronavirus, where basically when one asset gets affected or one country gets affected or one entity gets affected, it can affect all the other entities. So Bitcoin is highly contagious. So when we're talking about Bitcoin, we're not just talking about Bitcoin. We're talking about Dogecoin. We're talking about Stellar Lumens. We're talking about Litecoin. We're talking about Ethereum. If you go to Coinbase, you will notice that almost all these assets have gotten their asses kicked in the last 24 hours because Bitcoin is highly contagious. So here's the deal. Right now, you have a big problem with Bitcoin in that many institutional investors who love Bitcoin are running away from Bitcoin. They are taking their money out. JP Morgan just issued a report today where JP Morgan says that the institutional investors who were propping up the price of Bitcoin, giving Bitcoin major props, pushing the value up because they were pumping billions of dollars into Bitcoin, many of those investors are moving their money out. They are moving their money out of the neighborhood. So it's when white folks all ran out to the suburbs and the property values in the hood started going down because they all did white flight. Well, right now you've got a version of that happening with Bitcoin where they are flying away from Bitcoin and they're putting their money back into gold. There was always a conversation about Bitcoin being digital gold, that Bitcoin was a replacement for gold, that Bitcoin could give us could be as good of a store of value as gold. Well, a lot of people are starting to question that, particularly the big money institutional investors. And they have an Elon Musk kind of magic where it's not so much about what the asset's really worth. What matters is how many people are willing to buy it. Where's this money going to come from? So right now you've got two major players leaving the neighborhood. You get a good neighborhood. The houses are nice, but you've got major players with big money leaving the neighborhood. China's leaving the neighborhood of Bitcoin and crypto, and you've got the institutional investors who are leaving the neighborhood. So that's going to deflate the price. Now, I believe that the reason the institutional investors are leaving is because they are different from investors like me. Right? I'm going to say me, and I was going to say us, but I'm not going to say us because it probably doesn't apply to everybody. But there are assets you invest in where you have a short-term perspective, and there are assets you invest in with a long-term perspective. One thing I like about Kathy Wood at ARK Investing is that Kathy Wood is different from other money managers. Kathy Wood has been getting ridiculed because a lot of her companies with ARK, the high flyers, the companies that were kicking butt during the pandemic, are not doing very well anymore. A lot of these high growth tech companies that represent the future are getting pummeled. So because inflation has gone up. So Kathy Wood she was a genius last year. Now she's seen as an idiot this year. But I like Kathy Wood because Kathy Wood has basically been saying, I'm not investing for this year. I'm not trying to make big money now. I'm not trying to make that short money. I'm trying to make that long money. I'm investing for the next 5 years, the next 10 years, the next 20 years, right? And so the reason I'm investing in Bitcoin, this circles back to the key point that I was making a second ago. I'm investing in Bitcoin and crypto because I'm a long-term investor. So if you are not invested in crypto for the long term, do not listen to anything that I just said. If you're trying to make money by next week, just know your money might be gone next week. You might be feeling like a sucker for the rest of 2021 by diving deep into crypto. I told you the fundamentals of Bitcoin are still there. I love Bitcoin in terms of all the things it could have done. If they just left it alone, if the governments didn't get involved, if you didn't have crazy people like Elon Musk, doing pump and dumps or whatever, I think Bitcoin would have grown to $100,000 by the end of the year. I really believe that. But Bitcoin, again, is like 50 Cent when his rap career started, when he said, many men wish death upon me. And then he said, I got shot 9 times. And he got shot 9 times right before he was about to blow up. And he could have easily died. He got lucky. He survived and he thrived, but he could have easily died. Well, Bitcoin got shot 9 times. Like Bitcoin is going to keep getting shot by all the haters, all the many men that wish death upon Bitcoin. And I really don't know how this is going to play out, right? And so I believe it's going to play out favorably for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and digital currency in general. But digital currency and crypto, to me, is a little bit like what the internet was when it first began. When the internet first started and started blowing up in the late 90s, everybody knew it was the wave of the future. Everybody knew in 1999 that the internet was going to be a thing. Everybody knew in 1999 that the internet was not going to go away. But nobody knew who the major players were going to be. Everybody thought the major players would be like Netscape or MySpace or You Got Mail, AOL. No, nobody knew about Google. They didn't know that Yahoo was going to blow up. They didn't know that Facebook was even going to be a thing, right? So what's happened is that the internet survived, right? But the major players have changed. well, the same thing is going to happen with crypto, in my view. Crypto will survive, right? I believe crypto will survive. Digital currency ain't going away. I believe that the blockchain is going to survive. The blockchain ain't going away. The blockchain is too smart, too efficient, too capable. Is Bitcoin going to make it? I don't know. Because Bitcoin is going to have to evolve if it's going to survive, because there are lots of problems in the way the Bitcoin system even operates. Like just the sheer rate of transactional capability of the Bitcoin blockchain is too slow, from what I understand, for it to even really be a viable currency option for the future. So Bitcoin's going to have to evolve. Bitcoin, it reminds me, it reminds me of like Spike Lee, and how Spike Lee is not the best black filmmaker. Like, if I just keeping it 100 with y'all. Like, I don't hate Spike or nothing, but if Spike's listening, man, I'm sorry, brother, but I gotta just be honest. I don't consider Spike Lee to even be in the top like 8 black film directors of all time. I really don't. I think there are so many other people that are so much better. But like even the Hughes brothers, like like Menace to Society and all that. Like I like the Hughes brothers better than I like. But the thing is, Spike Lee always has a place in our heart because Spike Lee was the first, right? So Spike Lee was the originator. He was the guy that opened the door for so many other black filmmakers. So he gets a special place because of that that first mover advantage. So Spike Lee is the Bitcoin of the film industry. Bitcoin is the Spike Lee of cryptocurrency. I think that in 10, 20 years, you might not be talking about Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin might be something that is where you say, yeah, back in 2021, we thought that was going to be the thing. It might be what Netscape is for the internet. But I do believe that crypto and the blockchain will thrive. And so if you want to know what I do with in terms of crypto, I have a diverse, well diversified portfolio in a multitude of cryptocurrencies that I plan to hold for the next 20 years. Okay. So if you want to make money fast, I'd be extremely careful about buying the dip, because the dip, it could pop right back up and you never know, right? Or it could continue to sink. Remember, Bitcoin, there's nothing fundamentally speaking that is stopping the price of Bitcoin from dropping down to $1, right? So I want you to just kind of ask yourself, if Bitcoin dropped to $1, how would I feel? Would I still be able to live with myself, or would I feel like a sucker, or would I be in big financial trouble? Because if you can't stomach that volatility, then you want to be extremely careful, because there's so many other ways to make money besides just crypto. Don't feel like because you're not in crypto that you're losing. Anybody who tells you that is completely wrong. There's a ton of ways for you to make money. All right, guys. So speaking of that, if you want to see what crypto I'm invested in, and I kind of stick with the same portfolio, I just kind of dig deeper into it. I'm spread out pretty good. Go to drboyscrypto.com. I've got a screenshot of all the cryptocurrencies I own. You can feel free to look at my list and decide if you want to, consider any of those cryptos. And the last piece I would say is, I'll keep you guys posted on what's going on, and so don't just follow internet trends like buy the dip or whatever. Like, make sure that you're comfortable with the move that you make. And the other piece is that right now, the one big thing you're seeing as well, in addition to short-term institutional investors moving away from Bitcoin into gold. But you're also seeing a lot of momentum trading. Momentum trading. I wrote my dissertation on momentum. Basically, momentum trading is a relatively psychological phenomenon where you have a lot of these technical analysts who will see the direction that an asset's going, and they will continue to make trades in that direction. So I see the prices going down, so I start selling, or I see the prices going up, so I start buying. I believe that a lot of crypto is heavily driven by momentum trading, much more so than stocks, because stocks have a lot more fundamentals, a lot more tangibles that you can tether them to, that will tell you when the market price is getting away from what the stock price should be truly worth. Okay, so remember, it's like how Warren Buffett talks about the difference between buying an income generating asset versus just buying something that is perceived to be a store value. Remember, there's a reason why Warren Buffett hates cryptocurrency. It's not because he's completely stupid or completely wrong. Remember, this man has been making money since 1942. He's made a whole lot more money than me or you, so he's worth listening to. But that doesn't mean he's always right, right? So just be careful in terms of how you invest. I think this is going to get worse before it gets better. I don't know if Coinbase is going to come up or not, but they're probably having a hard time dealing with all the transactions that are coming through, because there's a lot of what we also call information dispersion right now, where there are so many different people with so many different beliefs right now, all coming to the market, and they're all making tons of trades. And that's what increases the amount of trading volume to the point where Coinbase can't operate, right? So this is going to be interesting to just see how the market unfolds out of this. So this is going to be a fun story to talk about. So be careful when you invest. Go make your money. God bless you. And also, one more thing I'll offer you guys. Don't forget, those of you who are in the Black Stock Market Program, we couldn't meet this week because I have to get ready for the wedding, but we will have a bonus section next week. So if you want to take a look at the Black Stock Market Program, we meet every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, where you can send me questions. I will answer every single question that you send me in advance. And also, you get access to an exhaustive curriculum, a list of all the stocks that I'm buying, stuff like that. So feel free to go take a look. The first month is free. That's theblackstockmarketprogram.com. So take care, guys. Have a good day. I hope this was helpful to you, and good luck with your investing. I hope you make a ton of money. I'll see you soon. Love you. Peace.